Hello and welcome back, connoisseurs of Crusader Kings 3, friends of the channel and newcomers alike. We are playing Lord Dumnarth of Cornwall on his quest to elevate his family to their lost kingdom title. Last episode, we conquered the coast of Brittany, not because we had any great desire to hold the territory, but because, I guess that wasn't last episode, no. Last episode was the Great Pilgrimage to the Vaticano. We've held this for quite a long time now. I mean, not a long time, but a couple of years. Our son, who was born out of the contract that we made with our new wife, though disinherited, will one day hold these lands, although I will likely not live long enough to get to entrust them to him because he's just a boy. Because my heir and grandson, Ardgar ad Ricket, is trusting, I believe that he will do as I ask him to do and that he will fulfill that afterwards. He is trusting, forgiving, and patient, which means although he will very likely accept the arguments of his grandfather and attempt to regain the kingdom simply because he believes that my reasoning is just, he is not going to do it too fast, necessarily, because he's not a fast goer. He'll try to do it over a long period of time and make sure that it's the best chance for him to strike. He's not like our arbitrary friend here who sees any opportunity to strike as the right time to strike. Right, what else do we got going on here? It is 5 months after when we last played, because this is the same recording session, and the fool I am, continued playing without saving or hitting the record button for till about February, and then I realized, oh no, I didn't hit the record button, and I went back to the autosave on January 1st so that we could start recording properly. I will quickly go over what we did. Ardgar, being the person that he is, i.e. AI controlled, remarried the woman that I divorced him from immediately after the divorce, just right away. So I had to figure out why it was that the game was insisting that he marry her instead of finding someone near his own age. And it's because of the game mechanics way of picking wives for the AI. It puts prestige and fertility first, but it considers all women of all ages to be equally fertile as long as they can have children at all. So it doesn't care that she's so old that it would be hard for them to have kids because, like, they're just too far apart in age. The likelihood that they have enough kids to hold the line together is so small. So in order to prevent him from continuously picking her, let's look at her. She is the sister of Arthfael, so she's right here. I had to marry her to one of my courtiers to take her out of the list, and when I did, he got married again, basically in December, it might have been November, he got himself married again to this woman who is like related to the Dover family. She didn't really give him an alliance, but he still got this alliance down here of, you can see he holds this county inside of the very region, Rouen, where his mother comes from. So she's actually a good chaos pick. I mean, as good as they can get. So I think we'll just let it stand. Yeah, a much better chaos pick than the much older woman that's his neighbor who just happens to have a lot more prestige than him. So this, I am satisfied with this. This marriage we will let go through. I'm actually glad he picked her because I was thinking if he didn't pick her, I might just have to wait till I took him over and divorce him and pick someone suitable then, because the AI is very bad at picking wives. And sometimes they do things that are just not good for the RP or even for the sanity of the non-RP players. Right, so that's the one thing we really did that mattered. Everything else is pretty much exactly the same. I did realize that I forgot to change the culture of Oxfordshire, and then I just went right down here to Brittany. I'd actually thought I finished that already, so this is on the list of things to do next. We're just going to make sure everybody's doing the right thing. We want to train commanders because the bonuses that commanders get from this and the chance to generate free knights is very, very, very nice. Right. Our money that we have right now, we are going to spend to increase, I don't know, maybe the profitability here in Gloucestershire. We got our forestry. We're going to build a forestry here because we don't hunt in this domain, and so we don't care about the minus hunting, and we could use the +3 gold. So there's, put an economic building in there. There are very few buildings in the game that help the siege engines, the mine being the main one, and then some of the, I think some of the duchy buildings do too. So we're perfectly happy to just build things other than military buildings in the place where they're set up. We have a little bit of money left, and I think we're going to use that to just boost the size of our onagers in preparation for our grandson's expected wars with England. How is old Alfred doing? I mean, he's much younger. Oh, geez. What happened to him? Why is he dying? Alfred! Oh, he's malnourished. He had a bad omen while he's malnourished from being inapathetic. And it's killing him. If he dies while I'm still alive, that could turn this peaceful retirement period of Dunmarth's life into something very different. Speed 5 is not the right speed. We're gonna ask the Pope for money because we always do. Yes, I will use it wisely. In fact, I will immediately use it to reinvest in our buildings. I don't know. Oh, we can build this up. This is really useful. This county here, Devon, because of the fact that we went down the architect line, is growing really fast on its own. It's at 0.9 per month. It's got tons of bonuses. It's got that +3 from centralization. It's also got +3 from the fact we have a magnificent liege. And yeah, you know, I don't know how I feel about his sons. I mean, I didn't develop no relationship with them on purpose, so I don't have to feel guilty about what has to happen next. But we do have Alfred's relationship with us has been pretty solid and good for both of us, I think. Sadly, once he's dead, the relationship that we have with his family will be nowhere similar. All right, so we are still trying to get the Earl of Berkshire to actually like us. Well, I almost never used to take this gold thing, but I think this one time we have it on hand. We spent it out, and I think making this guy happy is really important to us. I have no idea whether or not he's gonna... We're also generous, right? When people ask us for money, as a rule, when we have it, we try to give it to them. I wonder if Alfred's gonna get better or if he's gonna die. This has actually got me quite nervous. We're both on a timer, but my timer is better than his timer at this time. In fact, if this bad omen wears off... Oh, that's our court tutor gone. We need a court tutor who's good for our son. Do we have one? Yeah. Our friend, Ealdweld, is a good tutor, so we'll put him in. You can be the secondary educator of our son. Of course, I'm pretty sure our son's actual guardian is the same woman that we had train his, I guess, strangely enough, nephew? I guess he's his nephew? Yeah, that's how that works, right? He's his older nephew? I don't know, I'm kind of not sure about that, because he desires a military education, but she's got that trait, and like, the fact she's quick is just such a boon to this, right? It's worth more. Like, she would have to have, I don't know, if a person would have to have a 20 martial to make up for her quick trait, for her intelligence trait, I think. Maybe even more than that. So I think we've made a good choice. She's good at it. Hopefully she's not too stern. And just like I said before, if she does any harm to that kid because of her sadism, I will murder her. I will make an exception to my never doing harm to other people because it's not my way, at least not directly, of course. I do have wars all the time, but I will murder her if she hurts him. That's just a truth. All right, this is a grand tournament. It is a recital, but I think in our old age, we're not traveling anymore. Even she struggles and it's calming. Yeah, it's her. That's her. We were just talking about you. We were literally just talking about you. Nothing important up there. Really? This feels like an error. Feels like going on a journey when you're dying is a mistake, dude. Okay, let's stop. There's things we need to do because this is important. The first thing we need to do is see who took this. So it's the kid. He's still 14. That is pretty good for us because that means that there's a good chance that the Pope will give us the Duchy of Wessex because he's a child. If we look at this, if we look at our virtuous trait, it's balancing out his virtuous trait, but the fact he's a child is balancing out the fact, this is all down to the fact that we learned the Pope's language right at the beginning. We have +2 instead of -3 because right at the start of our adventures, Dunmarth learned the language of the Pope. It's all come full circle. One day we knew that the fact that our letters to the Pope would be clear and concise and that others would be confused would have an important factor in our life. As I said, he feels no bond to the children of Alfred. He made no deal with them, and he feels no problem whatsoever with taking this and perpetrating this war. The result of this war, I think, we'll look at the result. We're not going to declare it right away. So we're pretty even. He has one ally. His ally is actually in my territory, so we can't use them. I can call in Brittany. It's just like secret troops that this isn't calculating. Oh, it's the same thing as always. The Pope's... I always click on it too fast and the Pope's things doesn't go through. We need to look... We'll look at this too. As I suspected, now that Alfred is dead, the favorite is dead, everybody wants me to be the King of England. As I predicted many episodes ago, when this happens, if the old man is still alive, there is a chance he could accidentally become the King of England. So we need to immediately find the second place person, which is this boy. And we need to vote for him, hopefully signaling to the other electors, this boy, that that they shouldn't be voting for me because I'm not interested in the position, right? That should hopefully put him into first over me. Right now we're even, but hopefully it'll put him into first. I don't know how it breaks a tie. Maybe if it breaks ties through blood, then that's gonna help him anyway, so that's good too. I don't know if we even have time left with all the things we have to do to try to convince one of these people to vote for him instead. Like, we don't have much sway in that area, and we haven't really been looking for hooks. Maybe we should have, but you can't forgive everything. This is good. We're gonna leave this like this. Just so that we're unlikely to become King of England, because that would be a great tragedy. I don't know how we would fix being the King of England, to be honest. It would mess everything up. But, you know, we are the strongest and bestest of all of the vassals of England right now, so it makes sense that the other vassals would want us as king instead of one of Alfred's weak children. The boy is actually strongest, but once the war here is done and we win it, and we surely will, he won't be that strong anymore. It'll make us even more the obvious choice. I did have a thing I was thinking of doing, which is pretty neat. I was thinking, Asturias here has a daughter who is 12. I think that she might be a good match for our son, who is 8. I've been thinking about it for a while. You know, not just because I want an alliance. In fact, I did not think there would be any wars alive for this, but just because I think it's a really good wedding and helps to solidify the fact that we really are taking care of this boy's future. So I think this is a great connection for him, and I think it'll serve him really strongly in the future. Maybe he'll be able to negotiate an alliance with whichever brother, with this guy, her brother, when he becomes king, and maintain an alliance with Spain. I think this is good for the family. I think this is good for him. He's 9. That's a little young to betroth, but I mean, it's a political marriage, and we are trying to see that everything for him, including his marriage, is secured before our inevitable death. So we'll just do that, because it will also affect this war in a way that matters now that there's going to be one, which we really didn't think was going to happen, because we didn't think that Alfred would stop eating and then kill himself. that was poor Alfred. Poor Alfred stopped eating and killed himself. I actually acquired some actual stress from that, in spite of the fact that this guy has grown to be absolutely rock hard when it comes to stress. That bothered him a little bit. So let's unpause so that the Pope can give us our claim. And then we're gonna go here. We're gonna do the declare war. We're gonna look at our claims and see what happens. You gain the contested title and all the duchies inside of it, because it will be pushing him out. It has to push him out. It pushes him out into his other territories that he controls, because he no longer has the right to any of this. I am going to... Wait, we didn't declare the war. I'm going to make the alliance exist first. And then I'm going to declare the war. I really can't believe that this is actually happening inside of his lifetime. I'm so excited. Like, this has been a roller coaster. This has been a wild, wild life. He's the stallion. Come on, stallion, bring your soldiers. And also, Brittany, we need you again. Thank you. I am going to raise all here. His army should be a bit smaller than ours because he can't call in his one ally, because his ally is my vassal. So I think we're going to just go right for his capital. It shouldn't skull us because we'll pass through one of his territories, then one through one of ours, and then back into his. Yes, Brittany is joining. That's not surprising. King Alfonso is also joining. Oh, new liege, and we did it. Okay. I don't know what is happening to the Kingdom of England right now. How Alfred died and then his son and heir died right away. So we're gonna vote for that blonde-haired kid again, because again, we do not want this position, and who knows, someone may murder that child. So just in case someone murders the child, we're gonna vote for the rank 2 person again, because we do not want to become the King of England. Again, it is a big and important part of this that we do not accidentally become the King of England. Like, that is amongst the worst things. He's literally... Okay, I mean, that probably just means you're not going to show up to my war, but if my war is completed, I will honor my my alliance, but my war has to be completed first, because it doesn't make any sense that I would stop in the middle of this war that we just called him to in order to send all of my troops to, like, the other half of the world. We caught him, and we have a much stronger force. I think once this army is defeated, we are pretty much guaranteed to win this. Alfonso died. This is the new guy. I don't think I can, I don't think I can form an alliance with him, or, oh no, the alliance just shifts down to him, because yeah, it's a native alliance. So, okay. Now we will besiege Hampshire. Yes, I'll be your chancellor. It takes some money away from us, but we don't really, we weren't really depending on that. We may go into debt, which we don't like, but that's okay. Nothing here matters. Nothing here matters. This is literally it. I don't think the stub country that is the King of England can defeat us in an independence war once we take this much of their territory away from them. I think that's basically impossible. Wait, why did you do that? That doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna just have to, like, even split this army. And then take this group here to attack there. Hopefully my allies come with me. did they? I didn't see if they left or stayed. They came with me. That'll be great. You guys can go. And then together we'll defeat this, I think. It doesn't think I'm going to win because it's not calculating my allies in the win chance. It never does. They are up on the mountain. Let's get in here. There we are. It does when it sees that we're going to catch them. Our friend Cernwulf died of pneumonia, apparently. All right. We're going to break this army. When we break this army... Oh, he found some troops to send us to help. That's actually really noble, considering the fact that he's in the middle of a war. He didn't win his war, did he? Oh, he's sure he's gonna... That's not a reason to be sure. I don't know what you're doing, bud. I don't think you should be sending us troops. I think you should be trying to win your own war. Thank you, but our war is basically done. I'm pretty sure we 100% when we get this, right? I'm not 100% sure we get 100%. Did he win? No, of course he didn't win. It just looked like it was us fleeing instead of him for a second. No, that is not... Oh, because Hampshire has 2 forts. Hampshire has 2 forts. So it needs to be sieged twice. Chase. I think he might land on us, which would be hilarious. If he does, our allies hopefully will save us from that. Let's, I don't think we can catch him unless the allies try. The good Earl. I think we're gonna take... Oh no. We're old and we have prestige we don't need anymore. You can... we will definitely favor him and compliment his culture. I don't know where you guys are going, but okay. Sounds right to me. Our dog has charmed our grandson. It's not even our dog. This is a cat. This is his cat. He was charmed by his own cat. He gave us this cat. Well, of course you like your cat, dude. That's makes sense. Nice that you can come over and visit him sometime and, you know, spare your whoever it was who... oh, we still got more we need to do. So let's fight this army again. Is there still army... Yeah, we still have a bit we can gain from fighting his armies, so I guess we will. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Guess we're catching some skull here. Don't like that. We're gonna stand and wait till he's committed, and then we're gonna catch him because he won't be able to get away. I feel like they're just losing their war for themselves. We don't have a lot of money. Interesting. We hold it, so we're gonna get it on ticking, I think. Oh, no, we don't, because we don't hold its capital. We hold... What? We don't hold all of it. So they're gonna make us do another siege. Which I suppose is fine. Oh, jeez. Bad things are happening down in... down in the far south, there's some war happening. So that kingdom, they literally collapsed. We literally associated ourselves with them right when they were ready to collapse. That's hilarious. That's fine. What can you do, right? What can you really do? I don't know what you can do. Okay, well, you know, at least she has some place to go where she's going to be able to have a life close to what her station was meant to be. Now that the kingdom of her father has utterly collapsed and we didn't expect it to. Yeah, you guys go home and fight your war, dude. We don't. Okay, we're gonna die within a year, which means we are not gonna be doing the Independence War. That feels soon. I guess it's on time, though. I guess it's the war makes things suddenly go fast. Because I run on 4 during the war. I'm used to it being much slower. These funds will bring me victory. I mean, they will keep me from going bankrupt, which to me is dip victory. So that's good. Let's run out these sieges. Son learns German. High German. I would like my son to actually learn... yes, Brythonic, please. I think that would be good for him. Martial perk. I'll just take hard rule. I'll take a man's home, actually, for the defender advantage. It's not going to matter. I'm not going to ransom him till the war is over. Probably going to die before we finish this up, just because we need to siege one more time, and you know how long that can take. Oh, we finished barracks. I've been doing split on this because our fascination is 85%, so at 85% it feels better to do a split than it does to stack them. That's just what I do. Just how I do it. So, okay, they won their war in the south. Good on you, bud. Thanks for winning your war and helping us. Ailing with age aching, by the will of Jesus, why am I so sore? I slept well as I usually do, but whenever I stretch, I can feel my bones, all but sparking as they scrape against each other. I stare down at my hands, closely observing the nails, yellowing with age, skin that's wrinkling more than I'd like. It's difficult to imagine that youth once surged through this flesh, hot and vital. Everyone's joints creak. Do everyone's joints creak like this? Well, they do when they're like frickin' almost 80. You're like a Methuselah for this period, man. You're doing great. You're gonna see people. You're gonna have your rest soon, and you earned it. You've done so much for your dynasty, for your family, for your faith. You have done so much. You've done so much. You've done so much, old man. You have done so much. Just a moment of out-of-game celebration. I did not believe that it was possible for this one man to do so well that we would have all of de jure Cornwall and be ready for our independence war in his singular lifetime. This man defeated all of his foes in Wales, befriended his former enemy and made him one of his best and trusted council members, joined the Kingdom of England to protect himself from the northern barbarians, became friends with his liege, used that opportunity to regain much of the territory lost by his people in the wars against the Germanic Saxons and Angles of the past, went on a pilgrimage to almost all of the great Christian holy sites in the region, returned home to his rest, only to see in his last days the opportunity arise for him to finally push the unrepentant Angles, because all of those Angles who have repented are now lioness, or will be soon, pushed finally out of the ancestral lands. The only thing he leaves to his grandson to do is declare independence on England and break the kingdom away, and then create enough fame within his life that he can declare himself. If I was not dying, I have to say, if I was not literally dying, I think the right thing for me to do would be to do it myself, because I'm actually illustrious, but they've given me the 1 year to live marker, and that thing doesn't go away. That's just looming over us. I cannot do this yet. Do I try to fix this? I don't have a year left of my life. Do I leave the reorganization of the realm to my grandson as his first act? I think so. I think that is the right decision, because I know that this negative doesn't come for a year, right? And so it's going to be up to him to decide how this gets reorganized. How long have we been playing for? 29 minutes. Well, you know what? 29 minutes left. We're gonna play it out. We're gonna let the old man finish his time. First thing we need to do is we need to look at the Kingdom of England. Does it even exist anymore? Did it just collapse? No, it's like, wait, who holds England? Look how they're so much weaker than us. They're so much weaker than us, and that's them still getting levies from us, right? It's not good. It's not good. Let's go. That doesn't matter. Well, that doesn't matter. that doesn't matter. He'd have to have enormous allies in order to defeat us. to think it was worthwhile for him to front that claim. He'd have to have enormous allies. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have that. Let's spend money to just raise these onagers to the cap that we need them to be at. It's just been such a glorious life. I'm in awe at how well we've done with this old man. Shadow. Bringing him a few coins. Soon he's going to be at peace, and I'm kind of like having a bit of an emotional moment because we've been with this guy for a while, and he's done so much, and this is going to be the end. I absolutely love. He's sick. I mean, being sick as an adult really doesn't mean anything. And his doctor has handled him fine, so as long as he doesn't do anything really silly like deciding to go on a hunt or something, his sickness isn't going to really matter. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. Oh, we promoted a commander. Yeah, he's a good warrior and a good commander, so he can join up. He's got that same weird beard that Alan wears. This one. Maybe Alan has started like a fashion. I mean, he's been pretty successful in his job, right? As a, oh, we need to start raising control. I completely forgot that was a thing we needed to do. Losing my mind in my old age. Yeah, this realm will be a lot stronger once that's, there it is. The moment of truth. Duke Dumnarth II of Cornwall has left this world at 79 years of age. He died of old age. A hollowed shell of his former self, he had long lost his wits. What are you talking about, game? I mean, he doesn't have a council anymore, so I guess that's taking some of it away. But he didn't lose his wits. He's still, even with half of his wits from traits being removed from him because he's dead in this picture, he still has enormous wits. Okay, he didn't lose his wits. He didn't lose his wits. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? This man was winning wars at 80 years old. Whatever. Duke Ardgar ascends to the throne, being a man willing to wait for a plan to come together. Many expect great change to come to the realm, albeit slowly. And that, I think, is going to be the theme for the future. Is he going to wait? I mean, he's started to get illustrious, right? In order for him to become the King of Cornwall, he needs to get too exalted among men. Which means he's going to need to do a lot of activities that bring him prestige, but he's so young that it's basically guaranteed. Stewardship, what did he do? So he started meritocracy. I don't really have a problem with this. We don't want to claim our liege's throne. This stress, we don't do that. We don't change the minds of characters that already exist. I don't know, I lost myself there for a second, and I apologize for thinking like I was playing a different kind of game for a second. He likes administrator. You know, administrator is not bad. Thing is, architecture is essential, but he's not going to be chasing life like his grandfather did, so he doesn't really need to come here except to get a few things. Are we going to start here? Are we going to start here? We might, simply because we want to get scientific plant cultivation and scholarly circles, because they're really good, and I think that that can just represent the things that he learned to value from his grandfather. Maybe even pick up pedagogy for here and then moving back might be a good way to do it. Although, that's something he can do later. I think maybe, yeah, I think we're going to start off here, and then we're going to just follow his will and go down administrator. Likeable is a good trait. Chains of loyalty isn't bad. Yeah. No, I like this. We're going to do this. I'm going to take large levies, though, because it'll help us immediately. And then we're going to fill in our council. So our steward can't be us anymore, but our Thale can do it, because he's actually quite excellent at it. That means we don't have as good a spy master, but it gives us something to do with Owain, who does not like us. Mostly because the only reason he liked our father was because of all the chatting they had about how important it was that he obey. Don't know how long he'll even be our vassal, because everything will change once we become independent, but that depends on a lot of factors. I feel like because he's patient, he's going to get the prestige first, and then declare independence. He's not going to declare independence and then get the prestige. I think that's more likely what he would do. Let's look at our chancellor here. We don't have any good choice for chancellor among our vassals, but I think we're going to give it to the earl, just to make him a little happier. And then we're going to give it to our uncle. He's not really our uncle. I don't know what he is. I guess I think he's actually our second cousin, like our second cousin once removed, because he's of our father's no, he's of our I don't know. We're just going to call him our uncle. It's easier. And then we're going to begin with a sway on our spy master, just to convince him to lighten up a little bit. Now, there's nothing to be gained from stabbing. Everything to be gained from good behavior. What else do we have to do here? All our positions are the same. We still have our seneschal working. Let's see. Going up to our father. Our father's brother is still got a good guardian. And we don't like her. She probably mistreated us when she was our guardian and nobody found out. We share forgiving with him, probably because she's learning it from her. They're learning it from her. Makes sense. Not a bad trait, and it is virtuous, so that's a benefit. Nothing really here we need to do, but we've looked at that already, and then we need to distribute the realm. All right, we never intended to hold Wessex. Wessex is not the core of our domain. The very first thing we're going to do, which we always intended to, can't really do that yet, is the thing. This has to happen first. We can't really move the... We're going to move the capital before we change the culture of it. Yeah, I think we are. I think we're going to move the capital right away. Can I not? This is mine, so it can't be... Like, this can't be the... Oh, it's... It looks like it's standing over top of it, so I got confused, but it actually goes on top of the city. Yeah, we're moving our capital to Oxfordshire. That was always intended. That's good. And Devon might feel lonely now, but I mean, we're still going to live there and visit, right? We're still going to visit it. It's an important part of our domain, after all. It's where we train our archers. Speaking of archers, 5 years left before that's established, and we can start building our longbowmen. And if we look in here, still 8 years before those longbowmen become worth building, because they start at 20, so until you get to early medieval and they become 28, they're actually not as good as bowmen. But we will make the transition as soon as we have the money and the thing. We're not going to worry about the game reason for it. Yeah. I gotta spend some time thinking about this kid. Who he is and how he's going to oversee the realm. Things have changed so much. The Duchy of Cornwall just now looks like the Kingdom of Cornwall is supposed to look. We avoided the trap of becoming the King of England. We took Wessex, I guess. I keep trying to get out of the game and trying to do the outro, but I should do this first just so it's done. So who is this guy? Does he hate me? Does he like me? He's fine. Do I care? Okay, there's a couple things. Do I care about breaking this domain? Because if I don't care about breaking this domain, I could reward Eldwulf by giving him Hampshire or Hampshire. Probably could Berkshire and Hampshire. I mean, again, this is part of a duchy that I will be holding because it's going to be the heartland of our kingdom, but I mean, we're not getting rid of this guy. We have no plan to get rid of him. No, I would rather the de jure titles match. Mind you, I could make the de jure titles match pretty well by giving him Wessex once we become a king. Is there anybody we want to reward among our knights? Oh, I know exactly who we want to reward. Who has served our family for a long time as a knight, and for a while in other positions, and whose wife literally trained me and my uncle, my young uncle. And that is, I don't want to worry about the prisoners right now. And that is the already nobly born knight down here on the list. Where is he? Where does he live? He's here still, right? We know he's here. Eowulf Dispenser. He's our caravan master. He's our master of the hunt. He served our father well. Although he's getting old and is not likely to have another child, he does have an heir, and she will do a good job, at least by the looks of her traits, of managing it afterwards. So I think we're going to grant him 2 titles. We're going to give him Hampshire, and we're going to give him White. Like that. We're going to go over here, and we're going to give Alan our former domain in Daved, because that makes sense. That leaves us with 2 that we have to get rid of. Yeah, 2. These 2 that go to our uncle. I think we might give them to him now. He's still got 6 years left before he grows up to be age of majority, but I was ruling at that age, and I think that because I was ruling at that age, I would believe that with the help of a good regent, that he would also be able to rule at that age. So I think we're going to entrust him to the domain that was promised to him. It also takes away any temptation to deny the domain to him in the future. So we're going to give him the domain he was promised. That puts us at an appropriate number of domains. So we basically control all of this swath that was originally made lioness by our original cultural splash. The only lioness cultural splash, the cultural bit that we need to continue for our domain is Oxfordshire, which is now our capital. Once this is completed down here, in fact, no, we'll let that complete. We're not gonna do that. And that's it. The Duchy of Cornwall is pretty strong, honestly. We've done a really good job. Our military is very strong for our power level. Like, we're doing well. Did I have men-at-arms that came over with me? I had 1 unit of pikemen. I don't like disbanding them, but we're not doing those. We're doing huscarls, and we can't afford them right now, so we'll look at that later. And we can negotiate an alliance with our uncle. Great. And with that, I think we're going to end this episode. It's going to be so different next time. Thank you all for watching this very slow but engaging series. I am so glad to have presented it to you. I sound like I'm ending it, but it is the end of an era and the beginning of another. It looks like, at the rate we're going at, that there are only really going to be two dynasty members in this game, which feels about right to me. You know, this is never intended to be super long. The goal was always to make the kingdom and then build Oxford University. So our last real barrier towards completion is getting this number up to the absurd number of 30. That might not be something he can do in his lifetime, but it could be depending on which ways he goes down the tree. In spite of the fact we are focusing on a different part of stewardship, I might just jump... We might not focus these down all the way, like, I'm not sure how much of the rest of these I want. Like, I want Chains of Loyalty, for sure. I want Likeable. Even, yeah. Yeah, so what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to stop here. I'm going to go down to Centralization, which will help us with our goal to get Oxfordshire to 30. And then I'll flip back over here and finish Administrator. After I finish Administrator, we'll go over and we'll just do just these 3 in Scholar. And then we'll either head back over here, or maybe we'll do Diplomacy. Diplomacy's got some good stuff in it that would be interesting. I'd love to write a family history. When you have a character this young, like 21, there's so much you can do in these trees, especially if you're not obsessed with getting to the bottom of them. So yeah, that's it. That is it. The second Duke of Cornwall now rules. Goodbye for now, and I hope to see you next time in our first full episode under Duke Artgar of Ricket of Cornwall.